Hello guys and welcome back to another Ayres Podcast, where today we're going to be talking about coronavirus, Inter Miami and The Last of Us becoming a TV show, which is pretty cool. Before we get into all that, thank you for all the support we've had so far. Last episode went down pretty well with all the mental health conversation. Obviously it's a bit of a touchy subject sometimes and it can go one way or the other. But the people that have watched and enjoyed it have let us know about it, so thank you very much for that. If you have enjoyed, make sure you're hitting a thumbs up on these videos to show us that is the case, and let us know any topics you'd like us to talk about going forward. But Jack, how have you been?
Good. I've had a good week.
Yeah.
So when last Saturday, wasn't it, that we recorded?
Yeah.
So from then, basically got on a plane on Monday, went to Portugal.
Right.
Played some golf, drank a load of beer.
Sounds good.
Come back Thursday. I had to come back early on my own because I had a uni presentation.
Yeah. So the lads were still out there doing their thing.
Yeah. So they come back Friday. So Thursday was a bit bored, but to be fair, I had a load of South Park episodes on Netflix downloaded, so I literally just watched that on the way home. So it wasn't too bad. But
nice.
Uni presentation Friday, did that. And then, just last night, conked out this morning.
Just about up this morning. I'm good. Had a pretty busy week. Got this absolute killer ache in my neck and headache and snot and feel like crap. Probably got corona.
Sweet.
But I've got a semi-final football today.
Yeah.
I'm starting box-to-box midfielder, 90 minutes in a semi-final. So I'm just going to drag myself through that. Once that's done,
that's it.
I'm knocked out. I'm on the floor. I'm not moving for a good 3 days. Absolutely. And then I've got I've got London next week.
Right.
Which is Lewis Capaldi.
Right. Okay.
So I'll be going to that. I've got to get ready to go there.
With the better half.
With the better half. Got work in between. Yeah, it's going to be... Actually, it massively affects the podcast because I don't think... We're not going to be able to record on our standard Thursday next time. So it might have to be a potential Saturday morning gig again. We'll have to see. I don't know. Basically, my work schedule's a bit messed up because of going away. But yeah, I've been alright. Talking of Netflix, I started Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
It's a good little short.
Yeah,
episodes.
It's one of those things that I just put on whilst I'm eating my breakfast or something, and I just watch it and then I'm done. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not like you're laughing constantly, but
no,
there are definitely laughs.
I mean, the best part about it is the fact that it is Jim's dad from American Pie, and he is the best actor in this whole in Schitt's Creek. And the storyline's been pretty funny so far. Like, I've only seen 4 episodes.
Yeah. And
they got stuff like the "Welcome to Schitt's Creek" sign.
Yeah.
It's like, it's fine. It's his sister. It's like, no. But yeah, it is pretty decent. So I've been enjoying a bit of that as well. But yeah, I feel really ill, and obviously with everything in the news at the moment, coronavirus is on everyone's mind. That's kind of the first thing we're going to kind of talk about today. It doesn't necessarily fit into any of our standard slots, so like sports, entertainment, gaming, but it kind of affects all of them in a way, because coronavirus has been around now for a month and a half, maybe. But it's spread into the UK, US, other major countries as well pretty quickly.
Your main one.
China's obviously where it originated from, and then Italy's been completely closed down by it. So GDC, which is the Gaming Developers Conference, events that event got shut down pretty quickly. I think Sony pulled out of it, Facebook pulled out of it. Facebook, who were I believe gonna tease their new gaming system sort of thing.
Right.
So a lot of big companies pulled out of it, and then GDC just cancelled the whole thing.
I don't blame them.
They didn't really have many people going around left, so yeah, they completely pulled out of that. And then the weirdest one for me. So obviously you've got in Italy, you've got Serie A's being played behind closed doors at the moment, which is understandable. It's a lot of people coming together. You've got GDC, which have been a lot of gaming companies coming together, and they don't want to risk getting ill, especially when the PS5's imminent, as is Xbox Series X, blah, blah. The one that was the weirdest one for me, but it makes sense when you think about it, is that the James Bond film was due to be released this month, and they've delayed it.
Well, yeah, because people will be going to watch it.
People won't want to go to the cinema, is essentially what they're saying. People aren't going to want to go to the cinema. They're not going to want to sit in a crowd of people.
They can either play it as we're not going to make as many sales, but what they'll say is that they're doing it for the health of everyone. They don't want people risking their health.
To go and watch a Bond film. It's what they'll say. Really, they're thinking, we're not going to make as many sales.
That's probably part of it, but realistically, they won't make as much money.
Which is... it's crazy. I'd never even that hadn't even crossed my mind that going in a cinema and sitting down wouldn't be a thing. I mean, I'm going to a gig next week. It's going to be a lot of people there. I'm worried that might be cancelled. There's a high possibility it will be.
Depends how. I mean, it's obviously a serious issue, so it just depends on.
Yeah, Lewis Capaldi's done Glasgow the other day. Went down without a hitch, obviously, but. It's going to happen. Like, stuff is getting cancelled more and more every day, it seems. But it's weird. I think the chances of, like, we joked last week about Liverpool losing the Premier League because of coronavirus.
Yeah.
We've found out since it's probably just going to be that they're played behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But you've got the rugby player who's not joined up with the England squad. Because he was away somewhere.
Is it Vinopola?
Yeah, so he's not been brought back, even though he has no symptoms. He's not been selected for the squad because of.
I guess he's been somewhere.
He's been somewhere recently. I've forgotten where it was. And then, his club have said, well, he comes in, he plays, he goes home. He comes in, he trains, he goes home. We're not in and around the squad all day. We're happy for him to come in and play for us.
Yeah.
So he was playing club rugby when really he should have been playing.
But then I guess that's up to England rugby to make that decision. So
I know that the England-Italy game, is it? This weekend?
Ireland-Italy.
Ireland-Italy. That's being played behind closed doors, as is Serie A football games.
I thought that, because it's at Ireland, I thought the Irish PM cancelled it, or wanted to... Well, that's especially what it was at an early stage.
Yeah. It is taking over... Do you fear for your day-to-day life? Would you stop doing what you're doing on a day-to-day basis because of this coronavirus outbreak?
I mean, not at this point, but that's because I go from my house to one place of work.
Mm-hmm.
I then come back, I'll see, say, football lot, friends, and K and whatever, and then I'll go to uni on a Friday.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, football on a Saturday. So, I suppose there is quite, not a massive risk of being sort of... But then, I suppose the more you add it up, the more risk there is. But the further it goes on, obviously, it'll become riskier. But... Mm-hmm. I don't think it's... I don't want to say it's not to be worried about, because it obviously is, because it is killing people and it is infecting people.
But so do you know much about the details of the people that it's killing? Are they elderly people? I'm assuming
So there was a second UK fatality. I don't know whether it was this morning, but they were reporting it yesterday. This morning. Both of the UK, so both headlines were from BBC News.
Yeah.
And both of them were started with corona death, had underlying health issues. So whether they're you never know, because they could be playing it off and being like, look, it was because they had poor health anyway.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense. But then are they saying that to settle the nerves of everyone, or are they saying that because that is genuinely why they've not been lucky and got through it?
Yeah, I guess so. But
I don't know.
For me, the way I've been thinking about it so far day-to-day life, I come into contact with quite a lot of different people at work, and then I come into spread out around the country. I also come into contact with people when I'm here as well with football and stuff. But for me, I'm not too worried right now, because like reading, for example, the actual websites that you can trust with the information, so like official government pages,
World Health
Organisation or NHS or whatever it might be, reading those, essentially, most people in the UK may or may not have come into contact with coronavirus already, and haven't known because they have fought it off naturally.
Yeah, so out of the cases that have been, I guess, logged in a sense, there's been 20,000 in the UK.
Yeah.
And there's only 2 deaths. So you sort of think, well, that's pretty good.
That is incredibly good, yeah.
But then, if you were then to take the same odds, I mean, that's, 1 in 10,000. So, I mean, how many have we got in this country? 70 odd million?
Yeah.
So you think, based on that, you're bound to have about 70,000 deaths. Yeah. No.
Yeah, that is a lot.
Or seven or 70. I don't know what the.
But even if it got up to 7,000, that is a lot of deaths. Like I don't see it getting to that point.
But if you think about it, there are more deaths through suicide, cancer, drugs, alcohol, drink driving. You know, there's so many others. So, yes, it's something we need to stamp out, rather than, I guess, completely focus on in it, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So instead of being like, oh my god, this is the worst. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's definitely bad. It's not. It's not good.
But it's not the worst.
But it's something. We just got to be proactive rather than reactive.
Yeah. And I'd say at the moment we've got.
Well, they were saying a few weeks ago that it's not going to be until next year that they have a cure for it. So it's kind of like, well, so you're basically saying we've got another 9 months of being infected, and then it'll be
sound like The Walking Dead, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just like, wow, brilliant.
Well, yeah, we might. So what we're going to do? Put ourselves in quarantine for.
Everything would go to shit if everyone just stayed at home. But is that a temporary downfall for us to then live on long term? I don't know, it depends. I mean, for me, if I was to miss out on 2 weeks worth of work or whatever, at least I'm not,
well, yeah, for you it wouldn't matter. Yeah. But like, if I was to miss out on 2 weeks of work and didn't get paid for it, for example, because I had chosen not to go in, I'd be pretty screwed.
I would still go in, but it's whether the government go, right, okay, from this point, it's going to be impossible with electricity and water and all that sort of shebang, but whether they go, right, from this point for 2.5 weeks, it's as if time has been paused, sort of thing. Yeah. So people don't get paid, but they don't have to pay for. But then I suppose you think about food, and it's going to be impossible. Isn't it?
I would say people still get paid, and companies have to take it on the head. Or government pay off any. The government, let's face it, the government have enough money just to pay off.
That's going to ruin small businesses, isn't it?
No, but any money that would be lost, the government just take like your average earnings for that month, and in any year, the government just give you that money as a grant. I don't know. It probably will never happen. I can't. They're talking about quarantining like certain schools and stuff, and because this quarantine talk's been going on. I mean, my girlfriend works for like a retailer, we'll say. I can't quite think how to describe the retailer. But works for a retailer who sells a lot of like toiletry products, for example, and she said that she's had people coming in, one buying hand sanitizer.
Yeah, I imagine
like
sold out.
So she got a delivery of 200 hand sanitizers in Store opened at 9. They were sold out by 10:30.
Yeah.
Like, people are going pretty crazy. But in addition to that, she said that like her second highest selling product last week was toilet roll. Because people are actually like stocking up on essentials because they are anticipating having to go into quarantine, which to me is a little bit mental. I don't know if that is pushing it a little bit too far, in my opinion, and going a little bit overboard.
I feel like for this stage it could be. However,
yeah, if everything goes to shit, then they're the people that have played their cards right, haven't they?
It's genuinely like a movie, isn't it? When like
everyone goes mental.
Is it Bird Box? Have you seen Bird Box?
Yeah.
Where like you sort of think, obviously that's all going to shit.
Yeah.
You sort of think, well, okay, the people who are stocking up early are the ones who are going to be in there indoors, safe, surviving.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just be dead within a couple of weeks, mate.
Wow. Might be the last podcast.
Might be. Keep up to date on Twitter for latest news on mine and Jack's health situation.
I mean, it's serious, but
I mean, if I do end up getting quarantined, I'm just doing 24-hour live streams.
Yeah.
Twitch will be on point.
Well, speaking of Twitch, that got cancelled.
Yeah, TwitchCon got cancelled as well.
Don't know if anyone was going to that, but in terms of viewers wise, but
I think Stuyben was thinking about it at some point because obviously Amsterdam's not a million miles away from him. But I don't know.
It's been cancelled. They were on about refunding people, which is fair enough.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty standard.
But it's kind of like it's just shit because you're looking forward to an event, and it gets cancelled because of something that is, I get it, uncontrollable. So it's like, well, you can't be annoyed at the organisation or anything.
I mean, you can be annoyed at the way the organisation react in the aftermath. So if the organisation suddenly go, we can't do refunds,
or if they do it last minute,
if you've made travel arrangements,
Cheltenham Racing's going ahead, and I was speaking to someone yesterday, and they were like, well, they can't cancel it now. It starts on Tuesday.
They can.
Well, but
they could.
People
but they
are travelling over.
Yeah. So the worrying thing about Cheltenham races for me is
that's literally millions of people.
Millions of people coming to Cheltenham, travelling from all over the world.
Yeah. To then go back. And potentially spread it.
That scares me quite a bit because being someone from Cheltenham who bloody hates the races because it ruins every local's life for like 4 days, 5 days.
It's not ideal, is it?
You can't drive on any roads because they're all closed near my house. It's a complete and utter nightmare. I'm worried to the point that we're going to have people coming from potentially China. I know there's a lot of like
definitely
people from like Abu Dhabi sort of thing. I know people come from there because they all own horses and stuff, and they come over. Irish, of course, are going to come in their flocks with all their Guinness, and
I don't know whether Ireland's got any.
I don't know whether there's any like bans, like flight bans.
The only countries I know of that are sort of bad for it is Italy and China. I don't really know of any others, to be honest. Yeah,
it'll be interesting. It could be the start of the end for me. for everyone in Cheltenham going into quarantine. I mean, if that happens, like 2 weeks off work, I'll just sit and play games anyway.
It's just stream.
God of War, mate. I need to get that done. And Shadow of the Colossus came out as a free game. I'm all over that as well. Moving on. Well, talking about Twitch actually, I had this email that I've never received before because I wasn't earning any money from Twitch. Now that I'm earning essentially flipping pocket money from Twitch, I pretty much get less than the average like 9-year-old in a UK home at this point. But I'm earning a little bit of money from Twitch, and I got a tax form, and I was like, "Fuck! What the hell? What from Twitch?" Yeah. I was like, "What the hell do I do with this?" So I'm like reading through it. I was like, "I do not understand a word of this." Thinking, have I got to claim it? Have I got to reply? Have I got to fill out a form? I didn't have a clue what was going on. most of my details are already in there. And then you scroll to the bottom and it says like how much you've earned on Twitch, how much got taxed by the US government, and then what you actually received into your account, into your PayPal. So then I was going through Reddit trying to find out what to do, and essentially a guy said it's not up to the individual streamers to sort out their tax with the US government. It's up to Twitch.
Yeah.
So Twitch have already taxed me before they've paid me.
Yeah.
So I was like, good, fine.
The only thing you'd have to worry about is if you had to owe the UK government anything.
So if I ended up earning enough to then owe the UK government, then yeah. But as I said, I'm basically getting less than a 9-year-old does from their parents. So that wasn't a problem. But so another little mini story from this week. I got home and I went to the gym. I was doing a gym workout, and I just text the girlfriend like, "What do you want for dinner? I'll pick something up on the way home," sort of thing. Now my girlfriend's very much in the camp of like not trying to lose weight. She doesn't need to lose weight at the moment. It's more like maintaining her weight. So she's like healthy eating, and when I get home from work and all I want to do is eat shit food for like a couple of days just to get it like have nice food, she's like doing the complete opposite. But she says like, "I want a pizza." I was like, "Let's go!" So I was extremely excited to get a pizza. But she was like, "I want one from Morrison's," because when me and her first started dating, she has a Morrison's next to her old flat, and we used to go there, and they make your own pizza. They got like a pizza bar. You get to choose like the base.
Where's your nearest Morrison's?
So my nearest Morrison's is the opposite side of Cheltenham, in Up Hadley.
Right.
That sort of area. So it's towards Stroud. It's quite a way away. But I was at the gym, so I was already like halfway there.
Yeah. From
where I live. So I was like, yeah, I'll go to Morrison's, no problem at all. So drove to Morrison's, walked in.
Yeah.
And they must have had every single food bar under the sun, apart from this pizza one. Right. For some reason, the Cheltenham Morrison's,
had like sushi,
everything. Fishmongers, meat counter, deli counter, cheese. All sorts got cheese, all sorts going on, but no pizza one. Turns out this Morrison's doesn't do the pizza, like build your own pizza. Right. So I'm sat there, I'm like, right,
extremely disappointed.
Extremely disappointed. I was like, I can either call the missus, say, look, they haven't got it, what else should I pick up? Or I can drive to the Morrison's that me and her used to go to all the way in Gloucester so I can have a pizza. So I then drove another 20 minutes in the opposite direction to my house to go to Morrison's.
I definitely would have just picked some up and gone home.
Gone to Morrison's
no chance.
In Gloucester to get my pizza. Got there, and then it all came flooding back to me because essentially the staff there are shit.
Right.
And you'll be stood at the counter and they just don't serve you.
Someone be like, I work in Gloucester Morrison.
Yeah, I know,
you're right.
Fuck off, prick. But you stand next to this pizza counter and you're stood there and there's like loads of staff around you filling shelves or like on the till or whatever. But none of them come over. And you're like,
any chance,
you end up standing there for like 5-10 minutes. I was like, I do not miss this. Because we used to do it quite a lot when we first got together. But yeah, this is the dedication to the pizza life. I drove home, which took best part of 35-40 minutes.
So you've effectively done like an hour and 20 trip.
Hour and 20 round trip for a pizza. It's judge me all you like. But when the girlfriend says that she wants pizza and she never wants pizza, you pounce on it. Pounce on the opportunity.
You could have just, in that first Morrison's, just got another pizza though.
They're not as good, mate.
Well, no,
I understand her pickiness because the pizza is top tier. If you want Morrison's, build your own pizza, check it out. Let us know in the comments.
I know in Gloucester, by Gloucester College, over the bridge from there was a Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
I know they did it as well.
Ooh, that's a game changer. I mean, it's still the same distance from my house.
But I remember for lunch we always used to go get a meal deal. And I thought, oh, you know what, we'll have a look, like me and mate Rich. I thought, you know what, we'll have a little walk round.
Yeah.
Found this pizza counter, and I was just like, mate, quality. It was like a £5 or something. So
yeah, they are cheap.
You just sort of think for an extra couple of quid, why don't
yeah, very good.
But yeah, very good.
So moving on, it's a bit different today. Obviously, we've had coronavirus chat, which doesn't really fit into... Well, it fits into all of our topics because it has affected sport, entertainment and gaming. We're going to do sport. We haven't really got anything in entertainment this week, so we've got nothing to talk about. We're kind of just going to leave it.
Other than James Bond being delayed.
Which was in the coronavirus. But yeah, so, you know what? Yeah. Entertainment's going to take a back seat today, but we've got sport, and that is Inter Miami. Yeah. They played their first game up against LA Galaxy, I believe.
The one thing I didn't see much on this. The only thing I did see is that LA Galaxy had horrendous chance to Beckham. It was literally just like, you look lonely or something.
Well, it was at the start of the game. Beckham's gone and sat out on his own for a little bit, and all the LA Galaxy fans are already there, so they're like saying he looks lonely because he was sat on his own because there was no one else in the stadium yet.
But it's just like, well,
that's the difference between them. Well, you see it with like the Logan Paul versus KSI, like the difference between American banter and UK banter is just not the same. Beckham's probably there like, I own a football club.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially Beckham started up his football club. It didn't start great up against LA Galaxy. I believe they lost in that game. But, you know, it's quite interesting to see that he went over to America in the end of his career and has now got to the point where he owns a football team.
He's kind of... You could argue that he's effectively made soccer a thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, it would have been sort of semi-popular, but you've got your four main American sports. It wouldn't have had a chance against them before.
Yeah.
A big name like Beckham coming over, obviously playing and now doing all the behind the scenes to get his club going.
I'm trying to think of the sporting comparison in the UK, but I don't want to piss people off by saying it. So like, I'm trying to think, where was soccer before Beckham came over? I was going to say rugby, but I think it was a lot less than rugby before Beckham came over.
I would say rugby's more common.
Rugby's more common here in the UK. But I don't know what other sport in the UK...
I don't know, like badminton?
No.
Tennis?
Let's say tennis. Like, you got your one big tournament a year in the UK. But like, I'm thinking like sports that have fixtures throughout the year. Netball? Maybe?
I mean, obviously it's popular for women, but I don't know.
Or maybe like women's football. It was probably just below women's football in the UK equivalent. But then Beckham's turned up and he's brought it up to compete with, maybe not quite compete with American football, but certainly compete with like maybe baseball, hockey, ice hockey.
Baseball is quite massive, to be fair.
I mean, I don't think it touches basketball.
Basketball, but NFL is, I would say, is your main one.
Yeah, and then you got your basketball and
basketball
your
baseball. Is probably just near enough the same. I would say that baseball and ice hockey. I'd say then baseball, then ice hockey, maybe. But
so I reckon like soccer's up there with ice hockey now. I'd say in America it's getting there certainly, and that is down to Beckham. But you know, there's a couple of things he's had
a lot of influence, hasn't he?
He's had a lot of influence. There's a couple of things that maybe he's still working on those. So like for example, they don't have a stadium yet, so they're currently playing 30 miles away from Miami, which isn't ideal.
He's still got to change the name.
I don't think so. Was there a name change needed at some point?
I swear I saw a story where they were like, obviously Inter Milan are claiming that Inter is their name.
Right.
So whether they had to...
But that's like Man United telling Newcastle to change their name.
Well, no. United's different. That's the second name, isn't it? There are so many cities in United.
So Manchester United have got to tell Man City to change their name.
Well, no, but like Inter is not a common name, is it?
No.
And I suppose the argument with Manchester would be that it is a city.
Place, yeah.
Whereas Miami, obviously, no one's going to dispute Miami.
Inter Miami.
But Inter Milan, you don't see. It would be like if it was AC Miami, it would be the same. Like that, you think in England how many cities there are?
Yeah.
Like Lincoln,
for example, if it was like
Bristol.
AFC Miami, like that's fine, because there's AFC clubs around the world.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, it's AFC Bournemouth, for example. I don't know.
I think the AFC Bournemouth. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
interesting. I don't know whether I was argued that it needs changing.
Because they are, because if you are to talk about the Milan clubs, you don't ever say Inter Milan or AC Milan. You go Internazionale and AC.
Yeah.
That's how they are known.
No, Siri.
Not today.
Not today, Siri.
So, I don't... I don't think that it should be a problem, but I can see why it potentially is.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me, but I'm not an Inter Milan fan. I also don't own Inter Milan, so yeah, I can see why they would get cheesed off, but it maybe wouldn't be my initial thought process. I don't know. I don't think Inter Miami. I would probably just think of them as Miami. Probably, because they are the only team in Miami. I would have just called it Miami FC.
To be honest, I don't follow football over in America anyway, so it doesn't particularly matter to me anyway.
But yeah, their stadium's currently 30 miles away from where they play.
Yeah.
They're looking to build one in Miami. They managed to get, I believe, the deeds to an area of land to do it in.
Thing is though, 30 miles is nothing for America.
No.
Because you think all the basketball teams, all the NFL teams, they'll literally get on jets, fly across the country for 4 hours, 5 hours.
And then fly back.
Yeah. So...
Yeah, is it international? No, international's widespread. So within flights within your country,
well, it's just national
flights. Is that what you call it?
Regional?
Regional, that's it.
Essentially.
So regional flights, for Americans, flying within America is such a common thing to do.
Yeah.
Whereas in the UK, you wouldn't even think of doing that.
Unless you're going to Edinburgh or Newcastle.
Yeah, even then, I don't think I'd fly to Newcastle. I don't know.
It's like a 5-6 hour drive.
Yeah, train. Potentially.
Yeah, maybe 3-4 hours. I don't know.
But yeah, if you said, right, we're going to Newcastle next week, my first thought wouldn't be to fly. But within America...
See, I would, because I'd just go to Bristol.
Yeah, but is that because you've done it before?
Well, it only takes half an hour.
Yeah, that's because you know of it, know of doing that before, or that's a possibility.
But our family always, because my dad's got mates in Newcastle, because he went to uni there, and we always used to drive. Whether I don't know what the reason was, but well, I suppose back then it wouldn't have been as. I suppose the flight wasn't available, but last time when I went up there for a football tour, must have been a couple of years ago. We all just jumped on a plane and got out there.
Yeah, but in America, that is such a common thing to do. If you're going to a city, or you are flying usually.
Most thing is with the UK, it is not big enough to be worthy, is it? Whereas America is pretty much 40 times the size of us. So
that is pretty crazy, actually.
I don't know if that's an exact figure, but it is not. It can't be far off, can it?
No. So you've said that you're not overly interested in soccer, but Beckham has kind of teased at the possibility of Ronaldo and Messi going and playing for Inter Miami. Now I don't know whether this is American news journalists have maybe misinterpreted a bit of English sarcasm. Potentially, but it did blow up, and it was shared a lot that could then be the case. Do you think that is a realistic possibility?
Messi, if I was Messi, he spent so much time at one club, and obviously he had the whole Man City thing a few years ago about whether he'd go there and stuff. If he's already committed to that, you may as well finish it off and just be a one-man club. Like, why? Like, literally, there's no point.
Oh, the way he said one-man club. He is also that. He's a one-club man.
One club, yeah.
But you said a one-man club. He's also a one-man club. He basically runs Barcelona himself. But yeah, I think I could see Ronaldo doing it for a 38-year-old.
But then he's
last season or whatever.
He's committing to Juventus for the next couple of years, so you sort of think, well, is he going to have enough time? I mean, based on his physical state, then yes, he probably could. But
he could probably go on for a couple of years, couldn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for Ronaldo, he's obviously gonna, I'm assuming, boss it in the Serie A for a couple of seasons like he has everywhere else.
Yeah.
Hopefully win a Champions League with them. And then, if he feels at that point that America's another way to make a shit ton of money. But then, he's probably at a stage where he doesn't, he's got so much money, he doesn't actually need to earn anymore.
And I think for him, he might do what Beckham's done, and he might want to go and be a staple over somewhere and take fans to another league. Because I feel like when Beckham went over there, it would have been only English fans that were going to show an interest. You're not going to get Spanish fans, French fans showing an interest because Beckham's gone over to the MLS. But if it's Ronaldo,
I disagree with that.
Do you reckon?
Well, yeah, because obviously he's played for Real Madrid, who are one of the biggest in Spain. So you're going to have loads of people who follow Real Madrid.
But do you think people were as fascinated with him as they are with Ronaldo?
Well, obviously not, because Ronaldo is the best player in history. Yeah. So Beckham's still a very good player. Better than that, but
I think I don't think that internationally people would consider him as a top 10.
Who?
Beckham. But Ronaldo, they're like, he's in the 1 or 2 alongside Messi, Pele.
But then you think back to when he was playing for Man United, he probably was in the top 10
at that time, but time. We're talking all-time best footballers.
Yeah, no, exactly. So that's my point. Obviously, Ronaldo has more of a draw than Beckham, but at the time, for him to then go to America, he was still a big player for both Real Madrid and PSG before he went.
Yeah.
So I do think it probably won't be money. But
didn't he finish at PSG?
Yeah.
Didn't he go? He went to PSG after America.
Oh.
Because you remember that there's that viral video where he played his last game and he's crying on the pitch and stuff.
Yeah, maybe. I can't remember.
So I feel like he maybe went to Galaxy before he went to PSG. So he played for Milan, didn't he? Yeah. Was that before? I don't know. Either way, yeah. Obviously he has a draw, but I feel like people would start watching MLS because Ronaldo's playing in it. More so than people would start watching MLS because Beckham was there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Yeah. But I just think that more than English fans would watch the MLS.
Yeah.
Because of Beckham and where he's played.
Mm-hmm.
But then thing is really if you're not going to watch Premier League football, so say someone like yourself who doesn't watch it all the time, you're obviously not going to then go watch MLS.
No.
Someone like me who I catch a game every now and then probably won't go watch MLS either.
No.
If it's on I don't know, Instagram and there's highlights of it.
Yeah, it'll be something like that, won't it? It'll be on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah. But obviously
it's like when Zlatan went over there, you saw his incredible goals because they were posted all over social media, and that would probably be the thing you would.
But it's like Rooney as well. If he scored a goal or whatever,
do you remember that? Was it that assist he did in that one game?
Yeah,
where he tackled someone in the midfield and then he
spanked it about 70 yards,
and it's pinged on top of someone's head or something and went in. It's one of those things, isn't it? People only show an interest really because of something that's happened in a game. I think, will it impact people in America? Yes. People in America will get hyped.
We can't judge that, can we?
No. But I reckon people in America, you'll probably get more people going to games that Ronaldo's going to be in.
It doesn't matter where in the world Cristiano Ronaldo is going to play,
if
he's going to play somewhere, he's going to increase your ticket sales. It's
100%.
It's absolutely guaranteed. It's the same with Messi, or say someone like even Mbappe or Neymar or Mane, Salah.
Yeah.
There are people who have certain draws because you want to see them play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe not so much Salah or Mane, but
no, I don't think those two do.
But it's
it's Messi, Ronaldo.
It's like when, say, when Maradona would come to town, you sort of be like, right, okay, I'm gonna go watch it.
Yeah,
it's Maradona. Like, it's just people.
I mean, even for lower league fans, who did I go and see? Everton. I went and watched Everton play against Cheltenham because I at the time I was going to Cheltenham quite a bit.
Yeah.
I was probably going like at least 15 games a season, like cup games included. And I'd go there and I'd watch a lot of football. And I remember Everton getting us in the FA Cup. I'm like, I'm definitely going to go to that. Like Romelu Lukaku, Gareth Barry. Yeah. I went there for those guys.
Yeah.
Theo Walcott, I think.
Speaking of FA Cup, Newcastle got Man City, so there's basically no point of thinking about being into the next round.
Well, no, they can basically kiss the FA Cup goodbye because Newcastle's definitely going through, right?
That's not what I meant. But yeah, okay.
United got past Derby.
Yeah,
which was
so
good.
We've now got Norwich.
Norwich, who beat Tottenham.
You'd like to think you've got to get. I mean, obviously Tottenham would say the same, but you've.
But I'd say United are on much better form than Tottenham right now. United have come into a little bit of form with Fernandes doing his thing.
Yeah.
People putting Igalo on a pedestal is flipping hilarious because the guy is clearly not a top quality Premier League striker. Just watch him.
He did the job for Watford when he was in.
But he's just not though. He's not. It's not like when we bought Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Look, he's doing far better than a lot of your other strikers. So
true. That's only because Rashford was injured.
Right. Okay.
If Rashford was playing, he'd be fine. But to me, it's like people like bigging him up. I'm there like calm on. He is not a big time striker. He's just not. He's doing well at the moment.
He's in the right place at the right time and scoring you goals. I would not be complaining if I was you.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's ridiculous that Man United fans are getting like pumped up about Igalo. Like he's gonna be gone in a couple of years, even if he lasts that long.
I think you've got to appreciate him whilst you got him because he's doing a lot better than what other strikers have done. Fernandes is
I very much appreciate Fernandes. Haven't seen a free kick pop top bins yet though. I'm waiting on that. Anyway, we'll move on. We'll go into our gaming segment, and this came out a couple of days ago that The Last of Us is being made into a TV show by HBO.
I've not seen any details on this.
So apparently it was trending massively on Twitter. Somehow I didn't see it. And with the people that I follow on Twitter,
you would have thought you would.
A lot of American-based like gaming journalists, for example, I thought I'd be guaranteed to see it, but I didn't see it. I only saw it because I saw something on Reddit which was like, "Oh, this would be the best cast for The Last of Us TV show," and I thought it was just one of those like, "Oh yeah, what if they did a TV show? How good would X and Y be at playing the characters?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
actually looked into it.
And I was like, shit, it got announced on Thursday. So yeah, HBO, the creators of Breaking Bad, the director of Chernobyl, and Neil Druckman, the writer of The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2, are going to be making a TV show based on the series.
Yeah, HBO are the actual network, aren't they?
Yeah, so they also bought out Game of Thrones. Course.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, it's very interesting. But yeah, the director of Chernobyl. I didn't watch all of Chernobyl because I fell asleep in the first episode, and then my girlfriend watched the whole thing without me. So
it was
good.
Never watched obviously it was a bit graphic, but it was good.
But so yeah, like
in like a fuck that actually happened sort of thing, rather than this is really
this is entertaining. So from someone who's watched that, would you say that is a good director for something like The Last of Us, being quite a heartfelt story as it is?
Yeah, and it's quite sort of dark in
Mm-hmm.
in terms of frames and stuff like that.
And like the world
Yeah,
that they're living in and the depression
it's
around
all going to
it
be
and stuff.
like shot at night and all that sort of
It's
thing.
got to be sick.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really good.
But also to have the actual writer of the games helps.
Oh yeah, massively, because it was going to be a film at one point.
Got that continuity.
Yeah, so like it was going to be a film, but then the producers of the film and Neil Druckman kind of fell out.
Right.
Like the film wanted to go in one direction with it. He was like, no, I want to stay true to what the story is, sort of thing.
That makes sense.
So that all fell apart, and then that never happened.
Right.
Which is interesting because it now means that with this Chernobyl director coming in, and Neil Druckman's been in interviews saying he's got a really good relationship with him. They're very clear with the direction they want to go down. I think it could be really good.
Thing is, with the game, it was kind of a bit TV series ish
Because it wasn't twists and everything like that. It's got what it needs.
You kind of, when I found when playing it, you would have sections. So, for example, obviously you got your starting bit. You then go to the.
Into
I've
the
not
city.
played it for ages, but you
go from the suburbs,
but you find
where you meet Joel and Ellie meet each other. Then you go to the city.
Yeah. Then you go to like that university bit, don't you?
Yeah. Then there's
you
a
go
foresty bit.
So it's like, it's a little.
Well, it's split into 4 because it's split into 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So you've got literally spring through to winter.
Yeah.
That is kind of how it works. So I would like to see them go into more
if it was a film, it would be all in one, and it would just be like a continuous story. Whereas I feel like with the fact that it does kind of have a not set structure, but
well, do you think then, with
so
that
I
in
think a TV
mind,
show does suit it better.
With that in mind, do you reckon they'll do a whole season on like section 1 and give the story a bit more depth?
Story, are they?
I don't know. I would like them to do the same story just because I want to see people's faces who have not played the game when that final thing happens, which we won't talk about in case you haven't played the game. But I want to see what people's reactions are to the twists that are in the story. And then obviously they've got Last of Us 2.
But then surely the TV show coming out would then encourage people to play the game if they wanted to know the story.
Just like The Witcher. People went and bought The Witcher 3 because of
The Witcher wasn't the same story, was it?
Yes. No, because The Witcher story is based on the books. Yeah. Whereas the Witcher game isn't based on the books, it's just based on the characters that are in the books, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But this one is, solely based on the video game, which is Sony Pictures are behind it, and they've put it as the first Sony entertainment video game to be adapted into a TV series. The first.
Because I imagine games have been taken either from books or films or whatever, and then turned into something rather than.
But this is the first game from Sony. So is there going to be more? Is there going to be another game from Sony that will be adopted into a TV series?
I mean, you'd think so, but even if there wasn't, it's still the first.
It is still the first, yeah. But I'm interested to see if there will be.
I don't know. It depends how far you read into it.
It is, and we're going to read into it a fair bit because our topic of the week is what other games would make movie or TV adaptations. I've got 3 written down.
Right, okay.
That I kind of just had a little look at. I looked at the story. I thought about how I used to play the game and blah blah blah. But there's gonna be so many more out there that we could go from. It could be that they follow the story of the game. It could be that they just take the world and go with their own thing.
Yeah. See, I had in the car. I had 2. And now I can't think for the life of me what they are.
Well, shall I start it off then?
Yeah, you carry on.
So, he's just hiding his t-shirt. So my first one, there's a Bear Grylls interactive. There's a Bear Grylls interactive series on Netflix where essentially, I think it's more aimed at kids, but essentially he goes through and he's talking about survival, and he's got like a little storyline that he's kind of following. Like he's got to get this medicine to that extraction point or whatever it is in the jungle.
Yeah.
And as you go through, you choose what path he takes. And some paths he'll go down and like they'll lose the medicine, or he'll die, or something like that. And then it takes you back to the option, and then you pick the right option, and off you go. It's an interactive experience on Netflix where you can kind of make your own story, but you're still kind of guided down one path, because if you make the wrong decision, you're drawn back.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want it to be like that in the sense that you get drawn back to a point and there's only one correct route. I think that's more for the kids to be able to understand what they should have done, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But Until Dawn was a game where you had to make split decisions.
It was like Heavy Rain, wasn't it?
It's a bit like Heavy Rain, but Until Dawn is like you've got a group of kids that have all gone to one of their kids' family holiday homes up in the hills, and essentially stuff has gone down. So the previous year they lost one of the friend's sisters who died, and it was put down as a freak accident. She fell off a cliff or whatever it might have been. However, that hasn't, between the friends, that's not always been the true believing of what happens. And you're then there for the next holiday vacation, and you're essentially going around trying to work out what happens. The story in Until Dawn, Until Dawn is up there in my top 5 PS4 games. The story's incredible. Obviously, you can replay it numerous times because essentially you're trying to keep everyone alive.
Butterfly effect and all that jazz. In my experience, that's what Heavy Rain is.
Yeah. In my experience, I just tried to kill certain people because I didn't like them.
The only problem is with a game that has so many options of storylines, that's then hard to turn into a film.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it
film
could
needs to have a storyline.
I think it would be a TV series on Netflix. I don't think it could be an interactive experience. So, like, even though I think that would be really cool, the production size would be massive, because you start off with, let's say there's like 7 characters.
Yeah. And
like by the end of the game, you might only have 1 left, or you might have all 7 left. So the story would be too widespread and you wouldn't be able to do it. But
because I'm guessing there's going to be like...
Yeah, there's a graph out there somewhere on the internet. If you type in Until Dawn potential stories, potential endings, I think there's like numerous endings that you can have.
And you sort of think, if you then... Say if it's like one series or something, and you would then have to have like, I don't know, hundreds of different episodes.
Exactly, it would be mental. I don't think that would work, but I would quite like them to take the characters, the setting, the storyline, and change that into a TV series. I think that would be incredibly cool. It would be like. I suppose
you could have. Yeah, you don't have to follow the game storyline, do you?
But you can
make your own.
I think with the storyline, you can definitely follow. There's parts of that storyline that everyone will have played.
Yeah.
So like you're for the first like 3/4 of the game, a lot of the jump scares are very much there is a man following you.
Yeah.
There is someone up around this cabin in these woods who is a killer.
Yeah.
And you are being followed by him. And then, I think everyone who plays Until Dawn, regardless of how many times you play it, it will get to a point in the game where you do find out who it is. I think that's the same for everyone. Right. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure it's the same for everyone. So, getting to that point, it would be the same. So I think they should take that storyline, for example.
Yeah.
Because that twist is flipping incredible. It's a great twist in the story.
So maybe if they took like an average of each ending.
Yeah.
And then maybe just decide which are best
for a TV show.
Yeah.
But I would so watch that. Until Dawn would be a great TV show.
Yeah.
And I think that, especially if they bought it out, like, have you watched Haunting of Hill House?
Yeah.
So like, it would be a bit like that. Like that story's incredible. The way they film it's incredible. Until Dawn, maybe by the director of Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
Would be my first choice.
Fair enough.
What are you going to go for?
Yeah, so I've remembered one of them that I thought of in the car, but I've also literally just thought of a new one,
Go on,
which I thought would work very well.
Yeah.
Is if they did like a film version or even potentially a TV series of Far Cry.
Yeah. Oh no. Which Far Cry?
Well, no, but that's what I mean.
Oh right, maybe they take the idea of Far Cry.
And then, but then
just
I guess
Far Cry 3. Everyone loves Far Cry 3. That story.
I suppose the only problem is obviously with Far Cry, the appeal of it is that you're obviously going round and doing different stuff. Whereas I think if it was a TV series, you would have to just follow the storyline potentially.
I think they could do something with that though.
Yeah,
I definitely thought they could do something with
Far
that.
Cry, you got so many optional and additional stuff, don't you? That's what essentially would be. You'd maybe have to cut some of that out and just go with like a main storyline or something. But I think Far Cry could be pretty sick.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool with the environment. You've obviously got very clear bad guys, good guys.
Yeah.
But then you've got so many different relationships you build along the way, which in the game it doesn't delve into massively. I'm just thinking 3 at the moment, but like you meet a character and they are essentially used as a point to go to start a mission.
Yeah.
Whereas in a TV series, like the characters would have so much more about them. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think Far Cry is a pretty good shout.
Just thinking, like, say Far Cry 3, for example. One of the missions is you have a massive flamethrower.
Everyone remembers that mission. It's going and killing destroying the drug crops, isn't it?
And you sort of think that in a movie would be pretty. I mean, obviously the production would be quite big, but
a lot of drugs were ruined today.
I imagine that would be quite good to watch. And then the actual storyline of 3 is decent.
It's very solid, and it has that spin in the middle.
Characters and
and the ending. I mean, depending on what route you took. There was 2 different endings. Both were weird as.
You could, because I guess you could have the option.
It's got some sex in it.
You could have the option, and then maybe that's where the TV series cuts, and you're like, shit, what did he choose?
What did he choose? Season 2.
See?
And then they can go with their own story from there, can't they? The thing with video games, obviously, there's a definitive end to a video game, and this is where, like Game of Thrones, there was an end to the books. Have you watched Game of Thrones? How far have you got now?
I've not moved since we last spoke, so like mid 2, I think, or early 2.
I can't say one thing that I want to say because you don't know anything about the story, do you?
No, I've not read the books either.
So the ending of the books, everyone will know back home what it is. Essentially, they got to the end of the books, and then they had no more books to base the TV series off, so they've gone off on their own branch, which is what I see with video games. Obviously, you get to the end, roll credits on a video game, but if the TV series is doing bloody well, they're going to go, right, we're going to take this off in our own direction, which might happen with The Last of Us.
I guess at that point, they just speak to, is it George R. Martin or something? Yeah, I guess they just speak to him and say, look.
They do, but he's said that he is not going to write it the same way. That is his latest interview. Yeah. But I think that Far Cry would be cool. It's such a cool world. It's such a weird world. And I think the same would then go for maybe like Just Cause or GTA or something like that. Just
Cause was not one I thought of in the car, but like when I said Saints Far Cry, sort of think Just Cause is similar.
Yeah.
It obviously would be action packed. Because you'd have explosions.
But I don't think it's as good as Far Cry World. Far Cry World's a cooler.
Not, no.
But like GTA is another one that could be done, but I don't think it would ever do as well as people would want it to. No. So like people who play the games and love the games and love the stories and characters, blah blah blah, they would be like, oh, it's going to be insane, it's going to be insane, going to be insane. A bit like The Witcher was to an extent, and we talked about Assassin's Creed before we started. Like when that was made into a film, like. People were like hyped for it, and then we watched it, and it wasn't as good.
I would say the problem with GTA is, I guess it's also a problem with Far Cry. Like, you are the character, and you're doing stuff you don't usually do. Yeah. So it's like.
I mean, with GTA, you've got the 3. In the most recent GTA, I don't know because I've not played it, but there's 3 characters you control, isn't there? They've all got their individual stories going on.
So you could, I suppose you could do like a.
Or just. A GTA style. Actually, isn't there a film called Grand Theft Auto?
But what? I think they have done a film on it.
I'll look it up.
So
What's your talk?
I
Go.
remember looking whilst I was creating the game show
Ooh.
later on. Pretty sure Grand Theft Auto came up. But yeah, I mean, I think with any of these,
I mean, it didn't do well.
They're not
23% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, right.
5.4 on the IMDb. But yeah, it came out
When was it?
1977, so that's a long time before the games. So,
Is it the same?
I mean,
Is the
cast,
game
you're
then
looking
based?
at Sam Freeman, Paula Powers, Vivian Ace,
I've never
Bigby
seen
Powers,
those, I don't think.
Ned Slinker. No, I don't think any
so
of
does that
those
mean
characters.
that the games are based on a film then?
Well, Grand Theft... No, I don't think they are. Because Grand Theft Auto is essentially what, in the US, is used to describe
Well, it's an
a
offence,
car
isn't
robbery.
it? Yeah.
It's a car robbery.
Yeah.
Is Grand Theft Auto. So, I would assume that it's just a coincidence that there's a film called Grand Theft Auto and a game called Grand Theft Auto. I don't think there's any connection there. But yeah, I have...
So what's your second one?
My second one is Horizon Zero Dawn. Now,
I've seen James play this a little bit, but
I've played, I would say, 40%, 50% of the game. I didn't get to finish it because just at the time I just didn't have the time for a massive open world game. But the storyline's cool. The actual setting is what I think would draw people into like a TV/film. I think it'd be more likely to be a film adaptation because you've got massive robot dinosaurs roaming the lands. It's both post-apocalyptic, and I just think that world, even though I don't know how the story ends, I don't remember the story particularly. I know you're Aloy, you're a bit of an outcast, I think, and you know, she goes and hunts these robotic dinosaurs and takes the resources from them, creates weapons and whatnot. And there's different factions or cults sort of thing based around the world that you're going and doing work for and that sort of thing. I think that world has a lot of potential to draw in people's interests. The same as Fallout. I think Fallout, that world would be great. Skyrim. Everyone would be all over that.
Yeah. See, I was going to say Elder Scrolls, but
Game of Thrones.
Just seeing. Yeah.
Has dragons, has swords, has fire, has death.
But also, those stories take so long to come up with. I guess, would they do it in a film production? I mean, you could do.
Yeah.
But again, the appeal that I have for Elder Scrolls is not just the storyline, even though the storylines are always good, but I don't invest in it. It's the fact that you are that character in a sense.
It's a role-playing game. You are playing the role of the character.
It's not me watching it and going, but because you think Red Dead Redemption, whether that would be a good film or
it's essentially a western, isn't it?
But
could be a TV show easily. I think also Uncharted.
Yeah,
that is being made into a film right now, which is why I didn't choose it as an option. Tom Holland's going to play.
Is he?
Nathan Drake. So that'll be pretty good.
But but that sort of film is kind of, it's like Tomb Raider, isn't it?
You're playing a character that's already got a character.
But it is going one way.
Yeah.
You're not going out into the world, are you? You're doing a mission, you're doing a mission, you're doing a mission.
Yeah.
Kind of like Hitman, I guess.
Yeah.
Which has been made into a film.
It has indeed.
It is on the list.
It's on the list for the game show.
The one that I can't think of the other that I thought of previously, but Fable, I think the actual storyline itself would be a good film or
TV show.
Potentially TV show.
Just take the very bare bones of it and go with their own story.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be one that they've done before or if it would be a new story, but I think
a boy, he's like a teenager, isn't he, in Fable, would you say, depending on which game you're playing, obviously. Kind of develops, doesn't it, in 2 and 3.
The first one you're I think the story is that you are a kid and then you grow into a young adult.
Yeah, so I reckon from
then
Fable
the
2
next
onwards
one you are No, 2.
2.
I didn't play the first Fable actually.
I didn't play the first one. Well, I did,
second.
but I didn't because I didn't have an Xbox, so
I played the
it.
second and third.
Yeah, second and third were bloody incredible
Unreal,
games. There's talks of a Fable game coming back as well.
I hope there is.
I mean, if
I would play that.
I'd be tempted to buy an Xbox just to play Fable. So,
hopefully
Xbox, do your thing.
Hopefully they do it on like PC or something, because obviously Microsoft.
Well, you can get Game Pass on your PC, can't you?
Don't know.
You can. So the Game Pass that is on Xbox, you can get on PC. You can play games on PC, I think.
Right.
Or that's something they've teased for the future. So if that's the case, like I'd probably try and play it on my PC. Yeah. I mean, it probably wouldn't work, but I could try.
Give it a go.
So yeah, my last one.
Mm.
So Horizon and all the other games we've talked about just then, it's based mainly because it's an open world, which would be cool to see them adapt into their own stories, I kind of guess. Mm. Especially with like Red Dead and that. I mean, Red Dead's got more of a story to it. Horizon's obviously got a story to it as well, but I think if they just took those worlds and went with their own thing.
Yeah.
But for me, there's one game that has been released numerous times. It has been made into a film before, but it wasn't linked to the games, I don't think. But Final Fantasy is obviously, it's every single game, there's now 15 of them, every single game in the mainline series is a completely new story with new characters. So it doesn't follow on from each other, it's just a standalone thing.
So would you then say, right, okay, you do a film on a certain one, or would you then go for another new story?
I want to see a TV series based solely because these games are very long and the stories are very long. And I think that the stories have enough to develop a plot, develop character backgrounds, all that jazz. And there's enough going on in those games as well that you just hear about once the character joins your party.
Yeah.
But they could be having a completely different plot away from you. So there's a girl called Riku. I'm talking about Final Fantasy X. There's a girl called Riku who only joins you like 25 hours into the game, and she joins your party. And I think that it might not be that many hours, but it's close enough. I think that like her backstory that could be added in loads. There's a character called Auron that joins you after like 10 hours, but you've heard his name come up loads and loads and loads because he's from your like dad's past or whatever.
Right.
Again, he could join you a little bit later on. So there's a lot of potential in Final Fantasy X in particular for a TV series. The story is impeccable. It's my favourite game of all time. Like, it's just so good. I mean, you can basically buy it on every console under the sun these days, but back in the day it was on just the PS2. The cinematic scenes in it are incredible. Plot twists are great. I think it would make for a banging TV series. Will it ever happen? No, it won't ever happen.
Yeah.
It's a distant dream, but I would love to see those characters, that plot, put into a TV series. I mean, the first episode could be literally the first hour of the game. So essentially you're a guy in a city, you're a professional sportsman in a game called Blitzball. That would be insane to film. And the start of the game is you are this celebrity as Tidus, and you're playing a game of Blitzball, and something called Sin, which is a massive monster, has come in to destroy the city of Zanarkand. And then Sin takes your character Tidus, and instead of like killing him, kind of time travels him.
Right.
And time travels him 2,000 years into the future, where Zanarkand's a ruin. And essentially people are living in the world of Spira, and I've forgotten how many years it is. I think it's like every 10 or 20 years, a summoner has to go on a pilgrimage to then sacrifice themselves to Sin, or sacrifice their abilities to Sin, so that Sin will leave the world of Spira for 20 more years, 10 more years, 20 more years. And that's essentially the story. And Tidus gets caught up with this summoner. Yeah. And it goes forward like that. And like, it's just got such a good backstory that it would be insane. It just won't happen because it's so in the past now. It was a great game. I don't see it getting picked up.
Yeah,
but it would be incredible.
I've never really come across. I mean, I've always seen Final Fantasy games coming out, but I've never played it. So
I just remember that I got Final Fantasy 9 on the PlayStation 1 from a neighbour. He was like, "Look, I don't play these PS1 games anymore. You can have them."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, I don't want all of them. I'll just take a few." He went, "Right, play this one." Just gave me Final Fantasy 9. It was across 4 discs.
Yeah.
Massive game. And that I was like, "Oh, you know what? That was cool. Yeah, I enjoyed that." Yeah. I didn't play all of it because I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it goes on. It's got 4 discs, for fuck's sake. It goes on for ages. So I think I bowed out at like disc 2. Yeah. But I was like, "Oh, that's quite cool." Quite like, it's a bit like Pokemon in the way that it's a turn-based strategy game.
Right.
So it's like you go into a battle. You've got 4 characters up against however many enemies, and you'll take turns to do attacks.
Right.
And that was the basis of it. And then I remember getting a PS2, and I went out. I had like some money for my birthday or something, and I went out to buy a game. And I just remember walking into whatever the game, I'm guessing it was.
Yeah.
And then walked in there. I
wouldn't do that anymore. Just go online and
go
and buy
download it, and then regret it 2 minutes later when it's crap. I remember just seeing Final Fantasy. I went, Final Fantasy. Oh yeah, that's that game on PS1.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Give it a go. Yeah.
Hadn't read up on it. Hadn't looked into it. Didn't even read the back of the case. Went.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that was quite good. That last one.
Yeah.
Picked it up. It took over my life.
Really.
Played it for probably 2.5 years straight.
Fucking hell.
With FIFA.
But yeah, I guess.
And Call of Duty Big Red One. Call of Duty 2 Big Red One. Great game. And maybe like Dynasty Warriors as well.
But yeah.
Another one that would make a good film.
Yeah.
I maybe had those 3 kind of on the back burner, but my main game, story-based game, was Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
2.5 years of me playing through that game. Obviously, you don't get as much time to game as a kid.
Any game that lasts that long, you're doing pretty well.
So good. I mean, it's mainly because I was a kid and I was shit at it. So I was I've played it since then. On PS3, I was probably like 18 maybe when I played it.
Yeah.
And I was like, "How fucking shit was I at this game?"
Yeah.
Because like bosses, I remember getting stuck on and being stuck on that boss for like
years,
like literally 2 months.
Yeah.
I beat first time.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I clearly didn't have a bloody clue what I was doing because now I'm playing through this game again and I'm just walking through it. But yeah, that story as a TV/film, that would be my ideal, and then I could rest easy.
Decent.
In my deathbed.
Fair.
But it will just never happen. It's just 100% never going to happen.
Yeah.
Is there any more that you could think of that you would like to put in?
I'm so annoyed at myself because I thought of one, and then I whilst you were when you first started talking about Final Fantasy, and I was like, "Oh mate, that would be sick." I then started listening to you properly.
Yeah.
To then, I guess learn about Final Fantasy, whatever, and now I've forgotten, and now I'm really annoyed. But I've just thought of another, which I probably wouldn't go watch myself, but I think it could maybe work.
And we talk like is this more like a kiddie thing? Is it?
Well, I like Legend of Zelda.
Because I don't know. I have never played a Zelda game.
I've played it. Which one did I play? I've only played one, and it was pretty decent, to be fair. Obviously, I was a lot younger when I played it. Yeah. But I just think that sort of thing could work for it would probably end up being like a cartoon TV show or something.
I've never played it, but my instant reaction is I know a lot of people that would melt at the thought of that happening.
I reckon because it's such a popular franchise, it would just work.
It would be huge.
Yeah.
It would be really... I mean, I've heard the stories are great as well. It would be good. It would be very, very good. I don't know if it worked better as a film.
Yeah, based on the game that I played, it was sort of like you go to one area, then you sort of do a bit, and then go to another and do it. So it probably could be a TV show.
A bit like Pokemon.
Yeah.
In the style of game, isn't it, where you're walking around.
You've sort of got like one main, I guess, objective.
Yeah.
But you have to do a lot of objectives first.
Yeah.
That's how I remember anyway, but I'm just so annoyed I can't think of that.
if you do happen to think of it, note it down on your phone.
Yeah.
Next time, we'll have it as a starting segment of things Jack forgot.
Yeah. I mean, I forget a lot of things.
And we'll come back to it. I think we're ready for game show.
Right.
So Jack's our game show host today. He's going to be putting me to the test, I believe, on some films that were based on games that have come out in the box office already, and I have to kind of guess their sales. Now, I don't know a great deal about this, so Jack's going to describe it a little bit better than me.
I'm sorry, I've just had a text from the manager.
Yeah.
Our seconds have had a few drop out.
Oh, it's like that, is it?
And I'm the only first team player that's eligible to play from. So I've been asked if I'll play. So I've just had to say that I will.
Well, yeah, you don't really have a choice, do you?
No,
You're the
really.
only one who can go and play. In the semi-final of the Cup. So we're both in a semi-final now. There we go.
And we're both playing in... Well, no, you're at home?
No, I'm away.
Oh, okay. But, I'm playing...
So you're not playing in Cleve?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Anyway, game show.
Game show.
So, effectively, the rules are... All of these figures are based on box office, I guess, income.
Right.
For a film, and I've picked films that have been based on games or have a relation to games following our topic.
Right.
So effectively, I will give you the standing point.
Yeah.
So the first film box office figures.
Yeah.
So the first one is Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Yeah. Good film, by the way.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
The figure for the box office was $433 million.
Right.
So now, the premise of the game is I will be then giving another film based on a game.
Yeah.
And you have to tell me whether it is higher or lower than the previous one.
Don't say that we don't give you top quality content.
There we are. So, firstly,
right,
the most recent Tomb Raider.
Less than Detective Pikachu.
Correct.
Yes.
$275 million.
I did really enjoy that film though. The Tomb Raider film was a banger. So people watch that if you haven't already.
So the next one, which I'm not 100% sure what film it's based on.
What game it's based on?
What game it's based on.
Right.
But it's called Rampage. I'm just looking at it now. Primatologist Davis Okoye teams up with a geneticist, Dr. Kate Caldwell, and an albino gorilla, George. So,
right, I'm going to say it did less than Tomb Raider.
I'm guessing it's sort of like a...
It's an old game, I'd say.
Thing,
I'm going to say less than Tomb Raider.
Incorrect.
Oh, what?
428 million.
That's near the same as Detective Pikachu.
5 off. I was going to put them close together, but
how?
I was going to start with Rampage and then go.
No one knows what Rampage is. Anyway, go on.
So, right, the next one, Assassin's Creed.
Now, I hated this film. We talked about it before we started. I didn't like the way they did it. I was not a fan, but it was hyped up. And for me to convince a then girlfriend at the time to go and watch it must have meant that it did look pretty decent, because I don't think they would have gone to watch it otherwise.
So was it $280 million worth though?
Wait, you just said
that's what Rampage was. $428 million in the box office.
You just said 280 million. That was Tomb Raider, right?
Tomb Raider was 275.
Right. So you're saying is it more than Rampage, which was at 400 and something?
428.
I'm gonna say no.
So you're saying lower?
I'm saying lower because I can't see it beating like Detective Pikachu.
Correct.
Yes.
240.7 million.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Go on then. Right.
So
next up.
Next one.
I'm surprised it's that low though.
Yeah, I would have thought it'd be better than Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Tomb Raider was good though. Tomb Raider was such a good film.
So, next one. Hitman. And I believe it's called Agent 47.
Right.
The film is, anyway.
See, I did not know this was a thing.
So, is it...
I'm going to assume it's less than Assassin's Creed.
So, it's less than 240.7 million.
Yeah. Surely.
Correct.
Yeah.
82.3.
Ooh, flop.
Yeah, not great.
That's made a loss.
Yeah, I don't actually know what the budget was, but yeah.
That's definitely made a loss, surely. When you paid all the actors and stuff. So.
Yeah. So, next one.
Yeah.
I think one of a favourite of yours.
Oh, hello.
Ratchet and Clank.
Ooh. See, what was the last one?
82.3.
That's a big flop. That is a big flop. I can only imagine it did more. The reason I don't like this film, right, is because this was back when my YouTube channel was doing alright. And I posted gameplay of the game. And the game, I did not know, uses scenes from the film. Right. And then the film producers copyright claimed my whole video and whole series. And I didn't make anything from it. So I had a little bit cheesed off. It was tough to take. The film was alright. It wasn't great. The game was incredible. Again, top 5 game from PS4 generation for me. But I'm going to say it did more. It's surely done more.
14.4.
Bloody hell.
Incorrect.
That is a flop and a half.
I don't know what the budget was, but
ridiculous.
14.4 million in a box office.
Jesus.
And off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure. Well, I got it here. I'm pretty sure that it was like ages. Right, 2016.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. How is it not? How is it only done 14 mil at the box office?
Yeah, budget 20 mil. So,
so big loss. Hold on, but
this is, by the way, disclaimer. These figures are straight off Wikipedia, so they may not be to the penny, but it's near enough.
But like, I reckon the game.
The game would make more than that. 100%.
Made more than the film.
100%.
Mental. That is mental.
So next up,
what?
Warcraft, which I believe is based on Warhammer and all that sort of thing.
Are you sure it's not World of Warcraft? I'm
I
pretty sure it's based on World of Warcraft.
Oh, right.
It's got the orc on the cover. Have you got the cover?
I didn't look at the cover.
Yeah, no, it's got
So
the orc from. Yes, it's World of Warcraft.
That makes more sense.
100% better than Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, it wasn't hard, to be fair.
How much?
Have a guess.
It's probably gonna be the highest one, I reckon.
Would you?
500 mil.
I mean, it is the highest so far. 439 million, so just beating Pikachu by 6 mil.
Yeah, 439 mil. Yeah, it was big. It was big when it came out. I remember World of Warcraft people being pretty hyped by it.
And they must have a lot of fans.
Yeah, it's the
World
big
of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft and League of Legends are like the biggest played games in the world.
Do you reckon billions of fans?
Yeah, easily. And like, if you just look at the Twitch numbers, if you log into Twitch at any one point, any time of day, any time of week, month, year, they will be the top 2 games, League of Legends and World of Warcraft.
Yeah. I'm just looking at this, and I'm going to just swap
we're having a bit of a switcheroo.
Yeah, cause just to make it a little bit harder.
Right,
because obviously Warcraft did very well, so it's quite easy for this next one. But I'm thinking then after that.
It's going to be difficult.
So, the next one will be Resident Evil.
It's less than Warcraft, but I'm trying to think how well would that have done. Yeah, less than Warcraft, definitely.
Yeah, so less.
200 mil?
312.2.
Ooh, wow. Nice.
So then to follow that up, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, what a film! I watched this. Now, I'll say this.
Yeah.
Box office. Is box office the first week? Or is it just total?
I don't actually know.
So, I'm going to say Sonic's still quite new. So, it hasn't been out as long as a full lifespan of a film. And when I went and watched it, even though I thought it was very good, and I was very impressed with it, especially after, it had so much hate online when they originally announced it, there's only 2 groups of people in the cinema watching it. There's a lot of empty seats.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say it's less than Resident Evil.
Less than 312.2.
What? Yeah, 312 million. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
273.9.
But I think it will overtake it. Because obviously it's still at the cinema now.
Yeah, see, I don't know box office, what that refers to. Like you say, whether it's first week or whether it's total.
Total.
It's got to be total.
It's got to be total. No way Warcraft did 400 something in the first week. No, it might have done, to be fair.
So, next up, quite an old one in comparison.
Okay.
But not sure if it's as popular. Prince of Persia.
Ooh, see this film...
2010, I think the film was. When I
bring back the games. Please bring back the games, because Prince of Persia is a bloody great series. The film wise, I'm not too sure it was a flop. I think it was a big flop, big floppy cock. Down.
So you're saying lower?
Lower.
Incorrect.
What? No way.
336.4 mil.
And what was the one before that? What
Sonic the Hedgehog.
No way, that film is worse than Sonic. That's only because Sonic hasn't been out long enough.
273.9 Sonic.
BS.
Was.
Prince of Persia was crap.
Right, so I think you've had, 2 or 3 wrong?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. So you've got majority so far.
How many more were left?
Final, this is your last one.
Okay, go on then.
Very popular game series. Need for Speed.
Didn't actually know that was a film.
Aaron Paul was the main guy.
Was he?
Jesse from Breaking Bad.
He's also in Westworld now, isn't he? I need to watch that.
Haven't watched it.
I've literally got it on Blu-ray and never watched it.
Yeah.
So
336 is your standing point.
Need for Speed. I mean, I didn't know it existed. Fast and Furious is obviously kind of the king of that genre.
Yeah.
I mean, it's dead. I'm pretty sure they're making a loss on Fast and Furious at this point.
Yeah. Too many Burj Khalifas to be driving out of and landing into other buildings that are like 500 stories less, but yeah.
I'm going to go with less. Surely.
Yeah.
Good.
203.3.
I mean, Prince of Persia shocked me. But Need for Speed was non-existent. Although I like
Ratchet and Clank was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
When I looked,
big flop.
I was like, oh, those games are popular.
Big floppy.
Like, why are they?
Yeah. Ratchet and Clank, banging game. Not so much film. But there we go. That's the game. Higher or lower game show.
Matt, I think you did very well.
Thank you very much. What do I win? The privilege of cooking you lunch.
Yes.
Most likely.
Thanks.
Brilliant. Quality.
I was actually when I was going through it, I was thinking, shall I do like 100 bits per correct answer?
Oh no! What?
Then I looked at it and went, "No, you should get every single one of these." So I was like, I'm not putting that on the road. I've also been sugar daddy for far too long, so I'll let someone else do that.
It's tailed off. It has tailed off.
Tailed off.
Maybe because I haven't been streaming. Right, that is the end of this episode of the podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did do so, please hit a massive thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're new. Not sure when the next one's going to be. We're going to work it out probably when we eat some pasta before our game. But yeah, let us know in the comments down below what you've thought about everything we've discussed so far, and we'll see you in the next one.
Oh, Christ.
Professional as always.
Yeah.